Hello, hi everyone. Good evening. It's Asia. So today, from tomorrow, today onwards only, we're going to start one series of a VBA. Okay, you might be heard about the term called as a VBA, which is in Excel. So we're going to see the how the VBA automation works in the industries and how that particular VBA code can be written and how we can write the code from the scratch. Okay, I'm going to take it from the scratch to the advanced level. So what are the functions we can use in VBA and how that all the functions performs different types of functionalities with respect to which you are performing. Okay, and other things we're going to see day by day and series by series. So today is the day one of the macro and the VBA concepts. So we're going to start with the concept called as an. First of all, tell me that it is in Excel, right? Excel, you already heard about that. Excel is a spreadsheet which is developed by the Microsoft for Windows, for Mac OS, for Android, and different operating system, right? It features can be a calculation or the computation capabilities, graphing tools or the pivot tables, and different types of macro programming language, which is also called as a Visual Basics for the applications. So this is called as mostly as an Excel. Okay. Now, if we talk about a macro, okay, before proceeding to the VBA, there's a concept called as a macro. Okay. So macro is nothing but you can say sequence of VBA commands to run the particular task. Okay, and that task to automate that task. Okay, to run the particular task automatically instead of manually of doing it. That is called as a macro. And macro helps you to do the repetitive and recurring task in a very less time and with a better accuracy, because that is the most functionality of the macro we have. Now if you see, let me take it to the Excel and then I'm going to give you how the macro can be done. Okay, so this whole particular series will be on the mostly practical basis. So I hope everyone having the Excel right in your particular system, and we're going to select this Excel. You can use the any versions of the Excel, means above 2016. Okay, you can use the 2016. Even if you have 2010, then it's okay. Okay, 2016, 2010, and then 2021. Right. Now see, before this is your particular Excel interface, right? And you might be worried that most of the time your developer tab is not enabled, right? When you open the Excel, okay, you're going to see this type of interface: home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, and help. Okay, so we mostly got our macros in developer tab. Okay, so in current or most of the Excel you're not going to find that, but if you're not finding, so you'll not worry. Just go to file and go to this option setting. This, can you see this customize ribbon? Go to customize ribbon, and from here you can just enable the developer tab. Can you see this developer tab? Just check on this and click OK. The moment you're going to click on OK, can you see this developer tab? Here in the ribbon sections we have got our developer tab, right? Again I'm repeating, go to file, options, customize ribbon, and enable the developer tab. Okay, and click on OK. Now we will see how this macro can be performed. Just I have told you, it helps to do the repetitive and recurring task in a very less time. Now this, just click on developer. Okay, now suppose I want to do some kind of an series. Okay, I want to suppose write weekdays. Now I'm writing suppose Monday. Okay, I've written Monday, and then I'm going to use the fill series like this way. Can you see Saturday till Sunday, right? And like in this way. Okay, now I want to do this task repeatedly, right? Just by using the macro, just by running the macro whenever we are recording the macro. Okay, after recording the task which I have performed manually, we should just do in a single click. Okay, so the easiest way to record a macro, okay, with a worksheet action using the this particular tool, this record macro button, right? This is also called as a macro recorder. Okay, and before performing any macro functions you have to turn on this recorder. Okay, let's see. I'm giving a record macro, and you can give it any name you want. Okay, suppose I'm giving as weeks, or okay, any name you want you can give macro weeks. And while giving the macro name, there should not be any kind of a space in between the words. Okay, so macro weeks I've given, and click OK. So see, can you see the stop recording? Right, so the macro has been get started. Now just write Monday. After that, use the fill series. Okay, till here, till Sunday I'm checking. Right, done. Now after that, after doing this particular task, right, I wanted to perform this task only. So after performing this task, what you want, just go and stop the recording. Now you have stop the recording, right? So this is the simple task. This is the simple macro operations which you can perform, and any operation if you wanted to perform, you can perform it. Now what happened? Now see, just remove me this particular series. Now go to macros. Can you see this macros option? Any macro you have recorded, you have to go to this view macro. So go to macros. Can you see this macro weeks? Now if I run this macro, see, I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just within a single click I got this particular macro, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Within a single click, right? I don't have to write, means that. Now suppose I want to perform macro here. Now go to macros and run. Okay, now see, when I'm keeping my mouse click here, okay, this is the recorded option of the macro. We have done some kind of an functionalities, we have done some operation, and then we have go to the macro option, record macro. We have started our recording the macro, and then after that we have performed some operations and we have stopped the macro, right? And then we have go to this call as a view macro option, and we have run the macro from here, right? So this is the simple some set of operation while using the macro recorder. Now what happened? Suppose there is a concept called as an absolute references and relative references. Okay, you might be heard about these two terms in an Excel: absolute references and relative references. Just now which I have performed, okay, that is called as an absolute references macro. Okay, by default we mostly perform as an absolute references macro, but if we wanted to perform call as relative reference, okay, to that specific cell. Now see, if I'm I'm just setting my particular cursor till here in this cell H9, okay, H9 cell, and when I'll go to macros, when I'll run from here, can you see my this value Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, okay, this value has just printed in from A1 to G1, right? Can you see A1 to G1? But what I want to perform this particular function here, okay, you should print it from here, from H to like this way, from M or N. Okay, so this is using the concept called as an absolute references. Okay, in order to use the relative references, okay, I have to use the relative reference macro. Can you see this? Use relative reference macro, right? So you can see the easily definition has been given, like use the relative references so that macros are recorded with the action relative to initial selected cell, right? Whatever the cell you will going to select, from that cell only your macro will going to start. Example also has been given. If you record a macro in a cell A1 which move the cursor to A3, with this option turn on, and running the resulting macro in cell J6 will move the cursor to J8. Okay, so we'll perform this practically. Now see, after suppose I have written, okay, use the relative reference first, right? See, I've just used the relative reference, and this has been just getting dark, little bit grayish part. Now what you can do, record the macro and give this macro book okay, set as macro 2 only. Okay, set as macro 2. Now this macro has been get started. Now right here, suppose from the A2 I am writing Monday, right, and use the fill series option like this. Okay guys, if you're not able to see this fill series option in your site, you can click here, okay, and you can select this fill series. Okay, now I have performed these options. Now what I do, okay, now let's stop the recording. Okay, I will stop the recording. Now just vanish that particular part, and now keep your particular cell, a particular this cursor in any one of the cell, and Go to macros. Can you see macro 2 and run this? Can you see? It just it uses the concept of relative references, right? From it is started with a B1, right? And we have recorded our macro here in A2. Okay. So in this way you can use the relative references part. Can you see? Right. Let me delete this and just go to view macro and run this. Can you see here? It's very easy, right? Because I've kept my cursor at that particular position. From there my macro is going to start. So that is the concept of relative references, right? So we have seen the simple macro operations. Okay, now we will see how this particular operations, okay, can be done with the help of, we have seen that how we can turn the developer tab. Okay, we have enabled the developer tab, we have recorded a macro. Okay, now we're going to see how we can add a button to our macros. Okay, so in order to add the button, what you can do, okay, just don't use relative reference now we're going to assign some button to it. Okay, we're going to assign some button to it. Now what I'm going to do, when I'm writing this number, okay, suppose I'm writing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right, 10, this number I am writing. Okay, this should be performed by the macro. Okay, this should be performed by the macro. Now when I'm performing this with the help of macro, but what I don't want to go in this view macro tab and then I want to press run from it. Okay, instead of that I'm going to use one button. Okay, and that button will going to run the macro for me. Got it? What I said, that button will going to do the macro for me. Okay, now see, and there also you're going to see the concept of VBA. Okay, just for the time being, what I'm doing, let's record the macro. Okay, give as number series. Okay, give as number series. Now what happened here, I am writing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, I have written this one. Okay, I have written this one. Now what I want, I have recorded the macro. Now you can stop the recording. Okay, now from here insert button, can you see? Okay, just insert one button from here. Now I'm going to insert one button. You can take any size. Now name this button as, what you can give, command button 1. Okay, you can just for as of now you can keep as it is, or if you want you can change it from here. Okay, you can change it from here, collision command button object, and from edit options. So you can change it to any you want. Suppose number series like this. Okay, right? So when I'll use this, when I'll click on this number series, you should fill this particular number series. Okay, you should fill the series. Now what I'll do, just go to macros, and can you see the number series here? Now from here what you have to do, just click on edit button. Okay, so see, whenever you want to perform some kind of operations on the button, okay, with the help of macro, always remember you have to click and you have to click on the design mode. Okay, when the moment you're going to click on design mode, in this way you can do the different types of things. Okay, first of all let's see the code of this button. Now can you see, this is the code of my button. Now this is called as a, guys, Visual Basic Editor. Okay, this is called as a Visual Basic Editor, where we're going to write our Visual Basic code. Okay, so we're going to write our Visual Basic code, right? And this Visual Basic Editor is a very user-friendly development environment. Okay, it is called as an integrated development environment, or VBE IDE. Okay, where we write the programming codes or macro codes, and it is interconnected with the Excel workbook. Okay, you can open this also with the help of you can say Alt plus F11 in order to open the VB directly. If you want, you can go to here and you can use the Alt plus F11. So it will going to directly open this Visual Basic Editor, right? And also you can open this particular, you can say, Visual Basic Editor by from here also. Can you see Visual Basic? So from here also you can open it. There's no issue. Okay, which can be under the developer tab and just left side on the macros button. Right now, what happened? We have seen the macros, right? We have seen the VBAs also. That VBA is a simple Visual Basic for you can say it's a programming language which is created by the Microsoft in order to automate some operations in an application. Okay, and that supports the mostly Excel concepts. And VBA can also use to manipulate the other Microsoft applications, like some of the Microsoft applications we have in majorly Access, where it's kind of a databases where you can create a database and we can write a query and we can connect that particular databases with the help of a VBA. Okay, we have a Word, we have a Microsoft Word, then PowerPoint, then Outlook. Okay, so these are the applications we have, and in order to manipulate with these applications we can use the VBA. Okay, however, if you install this particular Excel Office 365, there is no additional installations required for the VBA. Okay, because Excel will automatically going to give you this particular VBA editor. Okay, now after opening this VBA editor, can you see this is the interfaces? Now in this interface, okay, if I'll remove for the timing now. Okay, now here, this is your Microsoft Excel. Okay, this is your worksheet where you're going to perform all the VBA projects. Okay, so this is the sheet 1, this is your workbook. So from here doing the right click and you can do the view code of that particular worksheet. Okay, you can do the view code of the particular workbook, right? Or if any operations has been performed, and by using this worksheets and workbook, okay, there you can insert some particular user form or module. Okay, we're going to explore this all the things in detail. Okay, day by day series. What is all the particular object, what is this called as user form module or class module. Okay, what are its properties and how the dockable file, what is dockable file, if you enable the dockable file, if you disable the dockable file, what happens. Okay, this all the things we're going to see day by day. Okay, and these are the some in ribbons. Can you see these are the some options like collision file, you can save the workbook. So always the whatever the simple basic editor concepts. Now editor, alright, then view, you can view the code and object, you can open in browser if you want. Okay, browser in the sense this is called as a browser. Okay, this is the object browser of the VBA where you can enable the different functions. So we're going to see this all the functions, what are the important things are required and what are the important functions we have in this. These are the some classes and these are the some members of the classes, members of globals. Then what are things we do in insert and format, in debugging, if you encounter any kind of an error in our macro code, how we can debug our program, how we can find the bugs and we can solve our particular code. Then this is the in order to run the macros, and this is tools, references, right? So these all things we're going to explore day by day. Now our task is that, okay, this is the basic introduction I have given for the Visual Basic Editor. Now our task is that if I click on this button, okay, my number should get printed. Now what happens, you can go to macros, go to edit option, number series. Okay, go to edit option. Can you see, guys, can you see here edit option? I can easily see it. Okay, this is the particular code which I have written here, right? So this is range a6.select active cell dot formula. Okay, we're going to talk all these particular formulas. What are these methods is telling. Okay, what is an active cell method and what is the formula, what is R1 C1 and what is range functions. Okay, day by day we're going to explore everything in a macros. Okay, for the timing, what you have to do, just copy this particular function. Okay, copy this here from control using C, and what you can do, go to number series. Okay, go to right click and view code, right, and inside here just paste that particular thing, right? Don't use control plus S in order to save that, because it will going to save your workbook in some file and folder. Just run that, you can close the workbook if you want. Okay, see, when I click on number series, wait, now see, right, whenever I'm clicking this number series, it's just printing the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So don't worry about that, what are these particular collision means this codes and what is code is all about. Okay, if I see this, what is the private sub buttons. Okay, these all things I'm going to discuss in detail. Okay, and how to write this all the things from the scratch, okay, to the advanced, we're going to discuss everything. So this is the particular concept of the macros. Right? This is a whole concept is called as an macros. Okay, because we require, in order to do the VBA programming, we require the concept and knowledge of the macros. Okay, now what happens if I starting with a VBA? Okay, now start with the VBA. We require some basic concepts in order to do that. Okay, we require some basic concepts in order to do that. And what are the basic concepts we have? Like what is meant by variables, what is the data type, right? Before, in order to start any programming language, you require the base of the programming language, like learning the basics. What is meant by variables, data types, constants, right? How you can declare the variable in different programming languages, how you can declare the variable in Visual Basics. Okay, what are the functions, what are the types of functions we have, then what are the simple operations we can perform with the VBA, right? So after doing this all the common operations, okay, and simple and basic operations with the VBA, so we will move to the little intermediate part, means how we can handle the several functions, like how we can handle the solver functions, and how we can perform the task with it, then how we can work with the worksheets and the range cell, what is the active sheet methods, okay, how we can see the active sheet methods in advance, right? So all the things we can use with the VBA. Now starting with the topic collision, I'm taking the little bit, you can say, a scenarios overall scenario of the this VBA, right? What are the things we covered, and so from tomorrow I'm going to start the core concepts of VBA, okay, in detail. So till now I'll consider you have understand everything, right? Now let's check out some little bit basic programming knowledge, right? So the concepts which we're going to learn, okay, I'm writing here. Okay. First of all, we will see the variables, okay, then we will see the data types, then we will see the constants, okay, then functions, okay, types of functions, okay, in detail. That functions will be the major topic in our VBA, because most of the task of the VBA is just performed with the help of functions only. And like what are the types of functions we have? We have inbuilt and the outbuilt function, as well as the user defined functions, right? So most of the task is performed by that one. Then we're going to see the some conditional statements, okay, conditional statements, then loops, okay, within the conditional statement, then looping we're going to see, right? Okay. And then some, you can say, popular codes, right? Or how to solve any problem, okay, with the help of Visual Basic programming, right? These are the same things, these are the concepts we're going to learn. Now out of these concepts we will see the methods, okay, and inside the methods we're going to run different methods called as range method in detail. Then we will see the cells, okay, worksheet, the hierarchy of all the things, okay, sheets, so we'll see the particular hierarchy. Then solver, means inside the functions are going to use the solver, okay, how you can enable the solver with the different things, and what are the perform actions you can perform, right? And then we have concepts of OLEDB, okay, and OLTP, okay. So these are the concepts we're going to do in the VBA programming, okay. It's looking means a little bit very, can say, less, but these all are very means in deep, okay. We're going to learn all the things in deep, because these are the concepts you should know. Before using these methods concepts, you should know able to do the basic programming with the help of VBA. So if any kind of an you can say error have occurred. Okay, you should able to debug that particular code, right? So I guess everyone, we should call it a day for now. Okay, we're going to see tomorrow with the new concepts called as variables, data types, and constant. Okay, we're going to learn in detail what is meant by variable, what is meant by data types, and what is meant by constant. So thank you everyone, thank you so much. And if you wanted to learn everything in detail and more concepts in detail with the VBA, you can connect to Coachx.Live. Definitely it will going to help you with the best level. Okay, thank you guys, bye bye everyone, see you tomorrow.